Hello YouTube, it's been quite some time. There has been some major revisions, major changes to the tank, and I know I've been slacking, but it's about time for a new video. So, just a quick update from last time. I had a couple of silver tip sharks in here. Tried my very best to keep them alive and well, and unfortunately I just could not do that at this time. I tried everything, made sure my water was in pristine conditions. Right now I actually have a 55-gallon running on a sump setup. The actual pump is rated at 330 gallons per hour, so right now my tank is actually over-filtered, it's overclocked, so filtration is not a problem at all. But no matter what I did, they seemed happy, they put up a good fight, and after about 3 weeks they just quit. So you probably recognize a few guys in here getting pretty big. Point in case, my red devil right there. He is, for those of you that don't know, that's the orange fish right now chasing around. The other fishes, I call him a red devil because of those red eyes. Right now he's being a bit of a bully. My redfin shark, surprisingly enough, he actually got pretty big pretty fast. So did the bumblebee. Frontosa is getting some size to him. My electric blue, yeah, he's confusing me a bit, because one moment he wants to be electric blue, next moment he wants to be this real pale grayish bluish color. For those of you that don't know, that guy right there, it's one of my favorites. That is one of my peacocks. He is coloring up nicely. One of the newest additions. It's that guy right there. I actually got him, I want to say 2 days ago, actually. I know I'm going to mess up that name. It's Angelicus Boticus or Boquitus, whatever. But I seen him and I was like, I like how he looks. I got to get one of him. I also added a rubber lip pleco in there. My spotted Raphael cat is doing what he does best, which is nothing, just sitting there. And let's see, I added somebody else. Oh yes, these two guys right here, the little guy in the back and the bigger fellow right there, the two sunshine peacocks. They are looking amazing as well. Those are some of the newest guys. Everybody else, for the most part, with the exception of this guy right here, might have not have been there from last time. But as far as the Corey cats, they're still in here doing their thing. My pleco got some decent size to him from last time, but I'm sure you guys see this guy. That is my black ghost knife. Yes, those of you that have watched a few of my other videos, I've been trying to find a black ghost knife. I've had two so far, all of which are babies, probably maybe an inch and a half, if that, and neither one of them has made it. Both of them have passed after a week or so. But I have had maybe 3 brown knives, and all of which did perfectly fine. It's just one of those situations where you want the real McCoy, but it's just not it. And I was settling for the brown knives, and after a while I just said, you know what, that's not what I want, and brought them back. But today I was actually going to Petco to just get me a another bag of aragonite, because as you guys can see, this is the first video that I have where I do not have my black rocks in there. What I actually have is a I did not want the pool sand. I didn't like the bright color. It doesn't really match the tone that I was going for, so I went with the play sand and added some crushed corals in there. So it's a play sand and crushed coral mix, but in doing so it dropped my pH from 8.0 to 7.0. So went out and got a bag of crushed aragonite and put it in the bottom of my sump, and that shot my pH up to 7.8. But today I went to Petco to go purchase another bag of aragonite, so I wanted my pH in the 8.4 range. I know it'd be a little harsh on some of the other guys, but I really wanted my Cichlids colors to really shine through, because since I've done the conversion, a lot of color sand, you know, different water setup, I have been seeing some phenomenal colors coming out of my Cichlids. Point in case, my yellow labs, I mean, they have some really great coloring coming in now, and same for the bumblebee. So especially my peacocks, I've been seeing some stripe patterns that I have not seen out of these guys before, so I was real happy with that. So I wanted to boost the pH up, but all of you know that I have a thing for black ghost, and this is the first time in my area that I've actually found a ghost this size. So that was at the local Petco. Normally I was getting my ghost from PetSmart, which they all were probably about this guy's size right there. And with the African cichlid tank, it really didn't make it too long. So the only thing that I found that was a decent size was their brown ghost, but like I said, it's just not the same thing to me. So went out and got this guy. I couldn't pass on him. He was one of three. He was the biggest one out of the group, most playful. So I said, okay, you know what? Wife is just gonna have to kill me later. I'm gonna go ahead and get him now. I already planned to switch this 55 out. I'm actually in the process of negotiating with a couple of guys on Craigslist. I've been looking at a 125, a 150, and surprisingly enough, a 220. 220 is actually going for right around the same price as the 150. So I really gotta weigh the options, you know, count my costs, because though I can probably snatch that tank for a really good price, 220 is a bit of a monster, and that just means it's that much more chemicals I'll have to put in my water if I have to treat anybody. Point in case, I went ahead and grabbed me a bottle of API Melafix, just to be on the safe side. You know, when you have any new fish coming in, you want to, just in case, you know, anybody got a little ick or anything with them, go ahead and play it safe and have that in the water to prevent anything from coming in. But even still, that's, you know, a bottle of Melafix that size in my 55, it probably gets me 3.5 days at most. So imagine how much more that's going to cost me in a 125 to 150, never mind a 220. So with my son on the way, my wife is due date is actually the end of March, so with little man a month away, I really got to be careful with how much I'm spending, and I'm sure there's plenty of you guys out there that knows diapers aren't cheap, so definitely got to weigh my options. But I think my heart is set on the 150. That's where I might go. I know that'll be more than enough room for my cichlids to grow, more than enough room for my black knife to play around with. Right now, like I said, my water's at 7.8. Got a little bit of salt in the water. This is a perfect example of what I was saying about, the colors are starting to pop through just nicely. Stripe patterns that I have not seen before are starting to pop through. So regardless, that is the setup. Maybe by the next video that I have, it will be, swapped out to the bigger tank. I was trying out this place, and like I said, I kind of like the look, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I might actually go with a black sand in a new tank, and to keep my pH and everything up, what I'll do is keep the crushed corals as well as the aragonite in the bottom of the sump, so the water's getting the pH boost that it needs, but the tank will be completely blacked out. I'm not sure. We got to see how it goes and how much that's going to cost, but regardless, this is my update. Please forgive me for all the cloudiness in the water. That's actually bubbles from the Melafix. Has my whole apartment smelling like tea tree oil, which actually gives a nice aroma, but even still, whenever I put that in the tank off of my just my return, it always causes my tank to be real bubbly like this. So this is not any particles or anything floating around. My water is actually crystal clear. It's just right now it's real bubbly. But guys, thanks for tuning in. As I always say, definitely leave some comments. Fairly new to this, so I would love to get some feedback, some tips, hints. I know there's a lot of you guys that's been doing this for years. Give me some help, give me some advice. I'm all ears. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.